Hello, everyone. This is Linda Ferguson, and
Karen Nelson Bell.
we are the hosts of Platinum Prime Life, your podcast for how to live a Platinum Prime life in your more mature years. And today we're going to be talking about basic needs and how those affect how you live your life. So, first of all, I'd like Karen to just share with you what we consider a Platinum Prime life is.
Well, there's a couple of things that go with it. First of all, you are in the prime of your life, which means you're probably over 40 anyway, and you might have some platinum in your hair. But with that said, it also means that you have vigor and enthusiasm for your adventures, and that you have all your marbles, and that you have sufficient health to do all the games that you want to play.
Exactly. All right. And with that being said, and that is a description, it's rolling into your later years, really with all of the things that you need to live your life to its fullest. Okay. So, what does that mean, all the things that you need? Karen mentioned some of them, and I'm going to touch on a few others. But what we're talking about is what are the things that tend to stress out people who have reached their more golden years, and they're not as stressful when you're younger, but they really become a serious point of stress for many people. And those things on my side of the fence include making sure you have your finances in order, your all of the things that you own sort of taken care of, so that you don't have to have attention on, do I have enough money to live? Can I afford my medicine this month? For those of you who might need to take some medicine to live your best life, food, just the basic needs. And that is survival. So survival on my side of what I focus on helping people with is financial, and making sure that the money that you're creating is enough to last you for all the years you choose to be here.
And don't they really combine together? Because without finances, you probably are not going to be able to maintain the health that you want. And without health, your finances, even Steve Jobs, with all of his money, his health did not prevail. So they're really amazingly intertwined.
Mm-hmm. You're focused on the physical health, the physical vitality rolling into those golden years. And mine is the wherewithal. What does it take to support that financially, living, relationship wise? Because all those things do combine together, and they are a necessity overall to find fulfillment and just continue on until at whatever point you choose to say, that's it, this was a great game and I am done, and I have left it in a good state and I'm
Yeah,
ready to move on.
yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about needs. So these are needs. And one of the things that I learned about, it hasn't been really that long, and it came when I was studying marketing, is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Okay. So for those of you who aren't familiar, I'm going to put a picture of it on the screen here in just a minute. But Maslow's hierarchy of needs really breaks needs down into two levels. So there are like the basic needs that one needs to survive, and that would be food, shelter, clothing, and health. I mean, food, water, it's like super basic stuff. Once those needs are met and they are no longer an ongoing problem, then you can focus on the higher levels of needs, which is companionship and creativity, art, pleasure, and so on. So, two levels. And where we really fit in is making sure you have the basic needs covered so that you can create on the upper needs. What do you think, Karen?
Well, I think that it is accurate to say that I am focused on the physical, but only focused on the physical in order to enhance the mental, emotional, spiritual side of life. Well, if you don't have a healthy body, it's pretty hard to do anything creative. It's very hard when it's nagging at you. But my life focus, because I've been in the arts all my life, is in the arts and creativity. And so one of the things I want to do by keeping my body healthy is to make sure that I do have all my marbles. Because if I don't have my marbles, I won't be able to be as creative. I won't be able to have the emotions that I want to have. I want to have happiness, pleasure, all those things. And so yes, it's accurate to say I'm focused on the physical, but I'm really not, if you know what I mean. It's like in the hierarchy, if you don't have that bottom layer, then you can't have the other. But the other one is actually, the next layer is actually so much more important to me.
Right. And me as well. But here's the thing. So, both you and I have a pretty wide circle of friends, people that we've known for many, many years, decades now, because we are both above a certain age. And so we've developed those relationships. And
I'm above everybody's
unfortunately,
age. There's very few people that I'm not above their age. I'm
there
80
we
and
go.
Grady. Great 80.
You are. You are. And I just have to share that Karen recently hit some goals and tried on a bikini after many, many years and looked fantastic in it. She and Martha Stewart could enter a beauty contest together. And I don't know which one would win, but I would vote for Karen, honestly.
Thank you.
But you know, a lot of our friends are no longer here to share our journey. They, for the most part, theirs is health related. So health, being healthy and taking those steps to remain healthy is super critical. Without your health, who cares how much money you have? As you mentioned, Steve Jobs, who had all the money in the world to do whatever he wanted, ran out of health and ended his life before he planned to do that. On the other hand, if you're
I
very
love the way you
healthy,
said that, Linda. You said ran out of health. And that's a phrase I'd like to remember because we worry about running out of money, that you haven't got enough money to make it to the end of your life and you will run out of money. And I never heard it expressed that way, run out of health. And that's what happens to so many people. They don't die peacefully in their sleep, with no health issues. That doesn't happen too often. And that was a great way of expressing it. I'm going to remember that you said that. You don't want to run out of health.
there you go. We, neither of us intend to run out of health. So we both work hard at that. But it's something that Karen knows a lot more about and has invested a lot of time in really learning all of the things that can enhance her health specifically, but her health as it relates to helping others as well. So we always are an experiment of one. And
Yeah.
so you want to try things out and see how they work for you. So that's that. I'm on the financial side of things. And why is that? Because there was a point in my life not that long ago where I had been married for a long time. I then became unmarried and had to figure out finances in a different way, which I wound up doing, but I was living below what I was used to. And then, I just kept figuring it out. So things are happy for me today. And what I did was that sort of, I don't know what you would call it, that in between point of, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I have to start all over again. And I'm over 60, and that wasn't fun. To, all right, I figured out a lot of it. I'm still figuring out more of it, but I wanted to help close friends that I know, and actually Karen knows some of them as well, where They went through life expecting one thing to happen, and then something shocking happened. Whatever it was, it could have been a death, it could have been a divorce, job loss, whatever it was. So suddenly they were scrambling for their very survival financially, trying to figure it out. And, having to rent a room or do something like that because that's what they could afford in a changing financial scene. Magnificent people that were scrambling a bit. And I just thought, no, I want to help people avoid that because you don't want to work your whole life to wind up feeling like, okay, I'm about to run out of money and this is freaking me out. So that's my area of focus. And Karen, just share some stories about people that you've helped.
Actually, I've been focused on body composition of late. This is not body shaming. I do not body shame fat people because I was a fat person. I looked at my heaviest, I looked like I was 18 months pregnant with triplets. So I know what it's like to be really heavy and to have people look at you funny and treat you a little bit differently. So there's no fat shaming. But to live a healthy senior life, it is much more effective to have a body that has a good ratio of composition between fat, you need fat, of course, and muscle and bone and sinews and tendons and ligaments and all those things. And your joints don't work as well when you're carrying too much fat. So I've been focused on weight loss of late, but not just weight loss, how to lose weight so that you won't go back up again. Because typically, everybody knows how to lose weight. Anybody can lose weight. Can you sustain it for the rest of your life so that you live your last 40 years of your life are healthy? And that's harder to do. So because you absolutely must maintain muscle mass as a senior. So I've been focused really on body composition lately, and I've been helping people to do the same. So I have products, you have products, you have financial products, I have health products that for me, they changed everything about how I related to food. And we have to change the actual emotional, mental relationship to food is terrifically important, but it's a lot driven by hormones. So I've helped people to modulate and moderate their own hormones so that their hormones help them to have this healthy lifestyle. So that's what I'm doing right now is I'm focused on helping people have your metabolism be functioning because most people, 90% of Americans have metabolic dysfunction, which means they've got a fatty liver or they have insulin resistance or they're pre-diabetic. Unfortunately, they might even be diabetic. And so that's where I'm focused is moderating your hormones so that that doesn't happen to you when you're older because it's very stressful. Like me with my knees did not want to carry around extra me. They said, I'm sorry, we're just tired of you, Karen. And I had to lose weight. And I actually had surgery on one, but now I'm of the opinion that had I lost the weight sooner and cleaned up my lifestyle, I would never have had to have this very devastating knee replacement, which I'm glad I have because it's getting better every day. But it was terrifically difficult for me. So who have I helped? I've helped all the people that want to find and it's very different. Every single person is so different because I'm a keto coach. Keto is it for me. It happens to be the way my body wants to eat. It's fantastic. But I'm not an absolutist. I don't say everybody has to be keto. I have a lot of keto friends who come to me for advice, and I'm happy to give it, and I'm happy to share my books, 2 books on keto. But we're all so different, If you're a vegetarian, I applaud you for being a vegan, or if you're a fruitarian, whatever it is that you found that's right for you, I enjoy helping people find their right regimen that will last them so that they don't run out of health. That's my story.
I want to share a story on how you helped me, and you'll have to help me again, but as soon as I'm ready for that help. So earlier, I probably was 40 pounds overweight for a really long time. And then Karen and I became very good friends, and she was all about keto. And I knew about it. Like many people, you've probably heard about keto and read about it. The difference between reading about it and even practicing it, finding someone that you like, is sometimes you lack your own accountability, meaning you decide, okay, well, this is what I want to do. And then you're tired or you're stressed or you're in a situation where you don't really feel like keeping that diet in. And so you blow the diet. And when you blow the diet, what happens? You don't feel as embracive to get right back in there, even though you were losing weight and feeling great. So, accountability is that person that you can turn to and say, oh, help. I just blew my diet and, it's another one and I don't want to go on. And that's where an accountability keto coach comes in, AKA Karen Nelson Bell. So she would really help me in that way and just, sort of walk me through why it still made sense and why having a coach was a good thing to have because she could accept all of the flaws that I still have to this day as far as eating goes. So when I'm ready, I recently got remarried and literally gained 30 pounds, just trying to be a new wife and cook. And my husband eats very differently than I was used to and loves the finer things in life, especially as regards to dining. And so I went along with it, which was fun and fine. But now I have to redo this all over again. So Karen, I'll be reaching out to you again
Well,
on.
that's interesting. I just recognized that life events do have a big impact on our body composition because when my husband died, it's almost 19 years since he died. It'll be 19 years in November, and when he died, I gained almost 100 pounds, not almost 100 pounds. So spouses losing them, divorcing them, marrying them, it takes its toll on our bodies, and everybody responds in a different way because some people when they're stressed can't eat and they lose a ton of weight, or some people when they're stressed do eat. Stress eating, that's me. Boy, I thought eating was going to make me happy, and it did for the moment that I was eating, but after that it just made me disgusted with myself and sad about myself, and I think it made it worse. Yeah, it made it worse. So it's really interesting that the life events have a big thing to do with how we tend to our personal private selves.
That falls into the relationship category. It's actually something that I am very good at helping people with.
You
But
are.
when we when we pull it down to financial, it was a very weak area for me. And the reality is that the percentage of retirees that are not prepared to fully retire because they are not financially able to do that is over 70%, which is
That's too
huge.
that's too much.
Sure. And it just means that even if you figured out how to have enough money to support your life, one disaster can wipe out whatever your future looked like for you. And we both are in Florida. And so it is a state that is prone to disasters. So financial disasters, floods and housing and that kind of stuff, power outages, businesses coming and going, and so on, can really make things uncertain financially. Making things uncertain financially is very stressful. And stress is something that is either slightly there or very there if you have a potential problem, that the problem exists and you're sort of ignoring it. But at any moment, it can exacerbate tremendously into your future the level of stress that you have, which means for me, you know what I do? I eat. When I'm stressed out, I eat. So trying to go on a diet when I know I'm facing like some big challenges ahead can affect my ability to stick with the diet, which is why having someone there to hold my hand is a
Can
good
I tell you
thing.
something?
Someone there. Sure.
I want you to know that I don't believe in diets because what I think that we have to find what is a WOE. That's what we call it in the keto world, way of eating. Because a diet is something that you do and then you don't do. But when you seek a way of eating that suits you for the rest of your life, that's when you find stasis, homeostasis. You find a place where it you don't have to worry that everything's going to come back, and because yo-yo dieting is worse for your health than just being fat. Going down and coming up more, going down, coming up more, that's terrifically detrimental. So I don't believe in diets, period. I do not, I will
Mm.
never diet. And what
I
the
believe
way
in them
that, yeah, you believe
because
in
the word
diet?
diet just means what you eat, Karen. It doesn't mean weight loss. The word
Okay, well,
diet,
as long as we've made that distinction, I like to make
yeah,
that distinction. Yes, I have a diet that I follow, but it's not a diet that I went on and then came off of. So if we
exactly.
just make yes, a diet is what you eat, but a diet should be like, okay, this is my
Chosen way.
dietary regimen for it's what I like. And maybe going out for fine dining and being a foodie could be part of your regimen.
And it could, and it still is part of mine. I want to tell you something funny. My blood type is B, and I recently visited someone who said, you should eat according to your blood type. Try this diet out. And I said, okay, let's look at it. And so one of the foods that I should avoid is bacon. When I shared that with my husband, he was horrified. He's just like, you, as soon as you said bacon, I mean, I can't believe it. Bacon? So I stopped eating bacon and chicken, and instead I've substituted lamb, some other things. But anyway, that particular diet for me is a good way of eating, and uh, I can tell because the energy is there for me. So good things. Anyway, I
That's
wanted to just
fabulous.
say
I
something
like
about
to talk.
diet because going on a diet to me just means shifting the way that you're eating, and the purpose for that diet may be different for everyone. Maybe you're eliminating sugar or you're eliminating wheat because you're allergic to it, whatever it is. So,
Yeah.
okay. Um, you can go on a financial diet as well, which is a good thing to think about. So, financial diet basically is that your spending habits shift. You still may have the same amount of money, but how that money gets proportioned out, where it goes, where you're flowing the money, so you're still creating energy with the money, changes. All right. And so I specialize in that financial diets. You specialize in foodie diets. And together, the purpose for each of those things is to improve your condition. Yeah?
Couldn't agree more.
Okay. So, with that, we've talked a lot about different things, but underlying all of what we're talking about in our side of things is we both have a very strong desire to help you in the type of work that we each do. I'm part of Secure Financial Services in Largo, Florida, and Karen has, you go right ahead and tell them your business and how they're
Well,
reaching.
I'm focused on completing my book series. It's a series called Super Senior, and through the book and through the products that I have access to, I like to help people become a super senior. You could be an aspiring super senior at the age of 30. You could say, I want to be a super senior. I want to have a bikini body at 80. You could do that. But so that's where I help, and I love to help people who want to be their best.
Good. So, with that, we're going to wrap up today's episode, and I will have a handout, the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is interesting, and I would recommend that you just look at it. Whether or not you agree with it, there are certain things that just looking around, so they're empirical, that you can see that if you don't have some of your basics in, it affects everything above that. And if your basics are so far out and are not coming in, everything that occurs above it will be impacted and may shrink down to being non-existent. So you're just focused on that one thing you need to handle, whether it is your health or whether it is your finances or whether it is a relationship. You become fixated until the thing is fixed. We can help you. We want to help you. So reach out to us. In the meantime, have an amazing week, and we will see you next week. Bye.